So we had a little bit of breaking news right now. It looks like Marvel is putting on hold the Blade reboot. So this is just breaking. I don't know the full details, but we're going to talk about it right here, right now. Ain't that right, Jimmy? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. If you guys finding me for the first time, you know the drill. Smash that like and subscribe button, helps out with the algorithms. Okay, so I'm over here on superherohype.com where I normally go for all my sources here, at least all the latest news and everything. And it's saying that Marvel Studios officially puts the Blade reboot on hold. This is not a surprise, to be honest with you. And according to the actual source, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. So the Hollywood Reporter is the actual source that is breaking the news that Blade is officially on hold, meaning it's not going to make its 2023 release date. So this is coming after a lot of stuff came out last week about this movie, with Mahershala Ali being frustrated with the director dropping out. And I'm just going to give you my thoughts. What I do here on this channel is just give you my opinions, my thoughts. Not everybody agrees with my opinions or my thoughts. I am not a reporter. I don't go out and break scoops. I report and react to the scoops. And with Blade and Mahershala Ali's Blade now being put on hold, we need to talk about this because this does affect the schedule when it comes to the next phase in the Marvel movies. So I said previously before that when the news broke that Mahershala Ali wasn't happy and the director dropped out, and they were going through a lot of problems with the script. Apparently, there was only 90 pages of the script written, and there was only 2 lackluster action scenes. I have said it previously, maybe not live on the channel, maybe on my live show I did, but mostly to my friends, that I feel like this movie should just be downright, straight up canceled at this point. I really do. I feel like Kevin Feige never had plans to do a Blade movie. I could be wrong. I have no insider information. I'm just going by a fan who's looking at it from the outside in. That's all I'm doing, is just looking at it from the fan. I could be 100% wrong, and I will acknowledge if I'm 100% wrong, and we're never going to know if I'm right or wrong because Kevin Feige is never going to be like, yeah, I had plans. But from looking at the information that I hold in my hand, then that's what I do. I look at all the sources, all the articles, the evidence, and then I try to make my most educated guess. And it feels like they never really had plans to make a Blade movie. I feel like Mahershala Ali, who just came off of 2 Oscar-winning performances, approached Kevin Feige and said, hey, I want to be in the MCU. I would like to be Blade. And Kevin Feige's like, well, not every day you get an Oscar winner that shows up at your door saying, hey, I want to be this character. And he's like, I think we can make that work. And then they came out at Comic-Con and D23 and they announced it, and therefore the Blade movie was ever set in motion. But I never felt like Kevin Feige sat there and said, I have a great idea for a Blade movie. Let's reach out to Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali and his agent were the ones that reached out to Kevin Feige. So I feel like that was sort of like the situation that we see with Lucasfilm and WB a lot in the past, where WB would get someone like a James Gunn or J.J. Abrams, and they would come in, and instead of WB going, I want you to direct this, they say, well, what do you want to do? When James Gunn came over, James Gunn came out and said in many interviews that when he went to WB, they were like, here's a list of all the stuff. You can pick whatever you want. He even said that he openly was offered Superman and everything. He's like, no, I want to do Suicide Squad. So WB and Lucasfilm had this problem where they would bring in these directors and say, what do you want to do? Instead of saying, this is what we're doing. And for the first time, Kevin Feige did that. Kevin Feige didn't approach them saying, hey, we're doing a Blade movie. Mahershala Ali approached them and said, hey, I want to do a Blade movie. And Kevin Feige then did that. The movie was never in production. I don't even think it was ever thought of. Again, I could be completely off base on here. I'm just going by the evidence that I've seen in front of me, and nothing that I have seen or heard since then can tell me the opposite of what I'm saying here. Nothing can tell me on the contrary. Plain and simple. So with that, there's been a lot of problems going forth with a lackluster script. A movie that was announced 3 years ago, still not filming yet. All because that they don't have a plot for him. Now, many friends or many people would say, And my friend Danny included would say, but Rob, they just can't cancel the movie now. It was like he had an end credit scene at the end of Eternals. Mahershala Ali had a voice. For those people that are using that as an argument, that is to me the most asinine argument. You're allowed to have it. 100%. I don't knock anybody. So Danny, if you're watching, I'm not insulting you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this. We heard a voice of a character. I listen and I follow superhero stuff on a daily basis. And even I didn't recognize that damn voice, and I had to go look it up to find out who it was. So if I am plugged into the universe and I go see all these movies and I'm doing all these researches and stuff, and if I'm watching this movie and I didn't know who the fuck that was, then the average person watching the movie, because let's be honest, guys, these movies that make $1 billion, it's not because of me, it's not because of you, it's because it's the average schmo on the street. It's the average Joe nobody who goes to see it with his family and his grandma and his grandfather. They're the ones going to see it. And they have no idea that that was Mahershala Ali or that was Blade. So that is something that can be completely taken out of continuity, right? They can easily plug that into something else and say, well, yeah, that was, my voice. Not only that, it was an end credit tag scene, not within the movie itself. Now, I'm not saying, you have to get rid of Mahershala Ali as Blade. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you got to cancel this movie because this movie is not being done right, And now that the movie is put on hold indefinitely, whenever they can come up with a script, maybe this movie will happen at some point, probably. I think it would be better if they did like a Disney Plus short film, much like Werewolf by Night, which I thought was a fantastic film. But this movie was never being done for the right reasons. You had an Oscar winner, a two-time Oscar winner actor that came in and said, I would like to do this character, and Kevin Feige said okay. He said okay without actually having a plan for this character. Again, just my opinion. I don't know the actual details on all that. That is just my opinion. But for anyone who thinks that end credit scene means anything, I'm sorry, that end credit scene means absolutely nothing. You hear a voice, you don't see the actor, nothing. And for the people that heard that end credit scene, 99.9% of them didn't even know it was Mahershala Ali or Blade unless they looked it up. And for the 0.1%, like my boy Danny who says I knew it the whole time, well, you are the 0.1% of the overall box office viewership that knew that. So I don't think that handcuffs them. And that's where it really comes down to. That end credit scene doesn't handcuff Marvel into having to do anything. So they can go ahead and cancel this movie. And for the record, I'm not saying the movie is canceled. I'm just saying as of right now, the movie is officially put on hold. It's put on hold for the foreseeable future because they just didn't have a script, man. Mahershala Ali was frustrated. This is a guy who's probably been working his ass off, training, put a lot of projects that could have made him money, maybe another Oscar win, put that on hold for this movie, and he's frustrated. The script was lackluster, script wasn't finished, director dropped out. I mean, the signs are on the wall. You need to go ahead and put this movie on hold. I personally think it's a movie that should be canceled because it's a movie I don't think we need. Before the movie was even shot, we had comparisons. Well, it ain't going to be better than the other Blade movie. It's not going to be better than Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes better be in this movie. Oh, it can't be PG-13. There was so many backlash going against this movie before the movie even had a script. So I think doing a nice hour and a half to an hour mini movie like Werewolf by Night would definitely work in the movie's favor. I thought that movie was just phenomenal. It was so original the way they did it. Something so different than what the Marvel formula is. I would love to see something like that, or maybe make a Blade Disney Plus series. The problem with that is you have an actor like Mahershala Ali, maybe he doesn't want to do a Disney Plus series or a Disney Plus movie. So there's just a lot of things going on right now, and unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait and see as these things play out moving forward. But that is just my thoughts on it, guys. I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about this Blade movie? Do you think it's going to be canceled? Is it on hold for a short term? What do you guys think? What are some of your suggestions? Just leave those comments in the comment box below. Let's get a discussion going. Until next time, guys, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.